Well, there's no reason to be sorry for liking Sweet Johnny. Sweet Johnny likes you too.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Sweet Johnny. Today we got a very awesome episode for you. All right, today we have another science experiment going on. All right, we got more jars this time to use, but today we're going to be testing out some deadly chemicals on some ramen noodles. The plan here today is we're going to take some of these here ramen noodles, soak them in some deadly chemicals, let them set for a week, and see the outcome. All right, I guess we're going to go ahead and get started with what kind of chemicals we're going to be using today. All right, first chemical, we've got regular old vinegar we're going to use. Dump it on some of these noodles, let it set for a week, see the outcome. We've got bleach. We've got tiki torch lighter fluid here. We've got some liquid fire here. This stuff is dangerous. If you see it on my last video, you know if you buy this, it comes sealed up in a big plastic bag because it is very dangerous. If any of it gets on your skin, it will melt your skin. You pour this down drains to loosen the drains up with all the hair and stuff, and it smokes immediately as soon as you start pouring it into the drain. So this is nothing to mess around with. And of course, we got a fan favorite here, gasoline. All right, gasoline. Okay, I forgot to buy lids for these things, so I got these plastic little wraps we're gonna put on top of the jars after we put the chemicals in them. I'm interested to see if the chemicals is gonna melt these plastic wraps that's on top of the jars. Without further ado, let's get right into it. All right, we got our jars set out. Okie dokie. Let's grab our first jar with the first chemical, put a package of ramen noodles in there, pour the chemical in there, let it set for a week. We'll see what it does. All right. There is nothing safe about this little science experiment. So, we're just going to get right down to it. Do not attempt to recreate or reenact any badassery that you see in this video. Not just for your safety, but for the safety of the mofo that gets blown up in the end. All right, let's take first jar here. Vinegar. All right, let's open this package of ramen noodles. Ugh. All right, don't know how we're going to fit it all in there. I'm going to take one. Stick some of these in there. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Nice little jar. We'll put about 1/2 of the ramen noodles in there, so we can use the other half for another. Okay, let's get our vinegar. Pop the top. Okay, pour some vinegar in here. It's not that dangerous if I get the vinegar on my skin. I just don't want to smell like vinegar all day long. Alright, I got these little tops we can pop off on it. Cover that with a chemical. Alright, we got a first jar here filled with vinegar, noodles inside it, and covering with a plastic lid. Alright, let's move on to our second jar. So, moving down to our next jar. We've got our half of ramen. Break that puppy in half. Stick that in there. That in there. Very nice. Got our bleach. Bleach, everybody. Got our bleach. Off-brand, not real bleach. It's all the same bleach, just to let you know. Okay? Gonna pour this in here. Got our bleach. Ooh, it's yellowish looking. Oh my god. Oh my god. Plastic lid. Alright. Alright, here's our second jar with the noodles and the bleach inside of it. Of course, we got our plastic lid covering it. Nice. Awesome. Cool, cool. Alright, put that there. Got our bleach. Alright, next up we got tiki torch lighter fluid. Go ahead and open up our noodles. Break that little half up. Alright. Pour some of this tiki torch lighter fluid in it. Very nice, very nice. Look at that. Filling up pretty good. Ooh, I can smell it. I can smell it. Cool, cool. Nice. All right, we got a third jar here filled with noodles and tiki torch lighter fluid. We're going to go ahead and put it on the table. All right, now we're messing with the deadly chemicals. I better put on one of these masks. shouldering good looks. You know what I'm talking about.
Why are you the way that you are?
All right, we got our noodles here. Take this jar. Now, I don't want to see anybody doing this at home. I should be using gloves to do this. All right, this is the liquid fire. It is nothing to mess around with. This will literally melt your skin off like the guys in Indiana Jones. Pour some of this in here. Oh, gross. All right, got that there. Woo! I'm always nervous when I mess with that stuff. Put our lid on there. We got our fourth jar here with the liquid fire. You can see the color, pretty gross, pretty disgusting. All right, now let's move on to our last and final chemical. All right, get our ramen open here. I'm really interested to see after a week what the liquid fire and the gasoline will do to the noodles. Pop the top off here. Okay, pour the gasoline in there with the noodles. All right. Got this. Oh yeah. Oh, mama. All right, get our little plastic thing on here. Gasoline. Make sure nobody lights any cigarettes up next to it. Okay, boy, do I have a mess to clean up. All right, we have our jars with our chemicals in it. We've got the vinegar, the bleach, the tiki torch lighter fluid, the liquid fire, and the gasoline. Now, we're gonna let these jars set for a week, come back, check on them, and see what the chemicals had done to the noodles after a week's time. All right, guys, I'll see you in a week.
1 week later.
Woo! Oh.
He needs some milk.
All right, I guess I'm just gonna come back here because I just freaking broke my back. Okay, what's up, guys? It has been a week, and we're here to see the results of the jars inside the chemicals. All right, we have our chemicals inside our jars. Now, let's grab this first jar that's been soaked in vinegar and see the outcome. Now, this is what it done to the noodles inside the vinegar. Looks like there's some more liquid left inside of it. It looks like the noodles has soaked up a lot of the vinegar. Let's pop this lid off here. Ooh, ooh, whew, that's vinegar there. Let's pour this thing out and see what it did to the noodles. Oh, there goes the noodle. Oh, all right. Get these noodles out of it. Oh, they're soaked, yeah. Oh, it smells like vinegar. Maybe I should try it. Let's see. Oh. Yeah! Oh.
I like turtles.
All right, let's move on to the next jar. That was disgusting. All right, moving on to our next item. Get that out of here. Moving on to the bleach. Let's see what the bleach did to the noodles. All right. It looks like it may have stained them a little wider than normal. All right, let's start pouring this bad boy out here. Got that off. Oh, that's gross. That is nasty. Look at that. Oh, that's so disgusting. Gross. Ooh. And the backsplash is splashing on my black shoes. So now they're going to be bleached. Awesome. All right, here's what it did to the bleached noodles. Started disintegrating them a little bit. You can tell of the condensation there. Pieces of the noodles. All right, that's our noodles that's been soaked in bleach. Oh, yeah. Gross. All right, let's move that aside. That's pretty cool. Didn't do much. All right, next item here, we've got our noodles that's been soaked in tiki torch lighter fluid. Let me grab this bad mamma jamma here and we'll see what we got going on. All right, here is our noodles that's been soaked in tiki torch lighter fluid. It has not done much. Let me pour it out and see if it's at least softened the noodles and see what we got going on here. So let's see, pour that out there. Oh, gross. Oh, yeah. All right, let me see here. Oh, that's hard as rock. That's still hard.
That's what he said, right? guys because of gay?
Oh, listen, that's still hard. That didn't even soften them up or anything. That's wild. They've been soaking in liquid for a week. Didn't even do anything. All right, we've got a jar here of tiki torch lighter fluid soaked in noodles. We're gonna dump it out and we're gonna see if this lights. Oh, we got it going. Look at that. Look at that! Oh my god, it started a fire! The tiki torch soaked in the noodles started a fire! It's going now, baby! Woo! Yeah, the noodles are good and burning now. Look at that. Wow. That worked pretty good. So I'd say if you're out in the middle of nowhere and you have some noodles that's been soaked in tiki torch lighter fluid, you could start a fire and survive off that. But who carries around a jar full of tiki torch lighter fluid? So...
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Get out. Hey. Oh, come on. Oh my god, it's not going out. It's almost like it's been soaked in some kind of chemical that keeps it burning or something. I don't know. All right. Now, you know what time it is. It is time for the piece of resistance. But now we are moving on to the liquid fire. Liquid fire! All right, see what we got. All right, I got the noodles that's been soaking in the liquid fire. You can tell it has turned the noodles completely black. Look at this here. Look at this. Can't touch this with my bare hands, so we're gonna grab it with the plastic. This was setting in the top of the noodles to push the other ones down. You got it on half of it and half not. So let's pour this bad boy out and see what we got going on. All right, let's pour this thing out. Oh, it's just, oh my, it's pure black. Oh, here comes some noodles out. Oh, gross. Oh my God. Ooh, look what it did to the jar there. Oh, gross. All right, here is our liquid fire on the ground. As you can tell, it's already smoking over there. That stuff is nothing to mess with. That is gonna sit there and just eat the ground and just smoke it out for a while now. All right, and now that was pretty disgusting. All right, let's move on to our last chemical. We've got the gasoline. All right, we've got our noodles that's been soaked in gasoline for a week. Now, it looks like the noodles have soaked up half the gasoline because I had it full. So half these noodles are basically just gasoline at this point. All right, let's get this off here. Oh yeah, woo, boy. Woo, my God, one more for good luck. Oh, Sweet Johnny's been a little buzzed. All right, let's pour this gasoline out and see what it's done to the noodles, okay? Here we go. Oh, gross. Pretty gross. Oh, man. Gross. All right, here's what it done to the noodles. Let me poke around in there, see what it's done. No. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Hard as a rock. Still, it did not soften these up.
That's what she said.
Or anything. But yet, it soaked up half the gasoline. And yeah, it kind of did already start to disintegrate them a little bit. I wonder what would happen if I kept them in there longer. Probably eventually it would have ate all the noodles, but that might have took a long time. All right, we've got our noodles that's been soaked in gas. Instead of me lighting it by hand, I'm just gonna throw it in the fire, see if it starts real fast. Ready? Go. Oh yeah, immediately. Yep. Let me grab some more here. Yeah, look at that. Ready? Another one, and go. Oh yeah, immediately it started fire. Immediately. I guess that's what happens to things that's been set in gasoline. Look at that. My goodness. Ooh, I smell noodles. All right, you've reached the end of the video. I want to thank you guys for joining me today, and I want to thank you for your time and thank you for your patience. If you liked the video, please don't forget to like and comment. And if you would, please don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and hit that little ringy dingy thing for more awesome content just like the video you just watched. And remember, as always, there's no reason to be sorry for liking Sweet Johnny. Sweet Johnny likes you too.
What it mean to be the best? All I know is stay down, bad, I'm the GOAT. Okay, feel like the best, the great. Now ain't no debate. Yeah.